right, man. How you feeling today? What's going on, everybody? Yeah. What's happening?
What's on my headphones?
What's going on over here, man?
My head's big, dude, so like I gotta adjust it like 8 clicks every time on each side, and I get the wrong click.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Side Project Podcast. Oh, yes,
and Chaz's neighbor Gardner, who decides to do
I know
gardening.
every time that we have a guest on, because we do have a guest on today, and we'll get to that in just a second, but every time we have a guest on, my neighbor decides to do gardening work and loud landscaping work, literally, without fail, every single time that we have a guest on.
It's like
dude.
he knows, like, hey, it's a side project.
Hey, today they got a guest on. Let's make them not look fucking professional at all. I do want to say something before we get into that, though.
Okay.
I do want to say this, and can you bring up his Instagram for me too, please? Because I forgot to grab something. Today's episode is brought to you by Mega Games on Instagram, and that's Mega_Games spelled with a Z at the end. He is a raffler, a claim sale. He does giveaways and things like that.
Buy, sell, trade.
Yep. And I recently got this from him, Sega Genesis Clax video game. It's one of my favorites. It's a childhood favorite. I used to play this all the time. I got it for a really great price. He has all kinds of amazing prices, and you guys need to go check him out. That's Mega_Games with a Z at the end, not an S. And he's also going to be at Valley Retro Game Shop, which I believe is in Burbank, on February 20th, 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And he's going to be a vendor at the Valley Retro Game Swap, and he's going to be bringing some fire retro game sales, so you guys definitely need to check him out if you want to get cool retro stuff like this. He does all kinds of stuff, you guys. I mean, literally all kinds of stuff. Genesis, Nintendo, PlayStation. I mean, everything under the sun, everything you could think of. Mega Games. He's a real cool guy, and you can get a lot of really cool stuff for him for amazing prices. So check him out at Mega_Games with a Z, not an S. But we're not going to waste any time talking about anything else today because we got somebody amazing here with us today from his DC cosplays such as Bane, Robin, Joker, even Darkseid, which I think is really cool. Probably some of his most famous ones as Batman, to his Marvel cosplays as Star-Lord, and even an amalgamation of his Bane and Venom crossover, missing no marks with some of his Star Wars cosplays as well. Have you seen those ones? Those look awesome as shit, dude. He's a gamer. He's a Marvel fan, a DC fan, clearly a cosplayer, and a designer, by the way, for those that didn't know that. He was also one of our previous cosplays of the week. I don't remember which episode, unfortunately. I can't remember off the top of my head.
We just looked up which cosplay we had.
Yeah, we did. I don't remember that episode. Today, we're talking with none other than Imposter Cosplay. What's going on, man?
Dude, what's up? That intro is fire. I think that's like enough, right? You covered all the bases.
Yeah.
You like said it all, so I can like go.
Yeah. So we pretty much. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.
Goodbye, dude. That was good.
Thanks, man.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah, dude. Let's just get this out of the way real quick, right off the top, right off the bat, and let's just talk super fast.
No pun intended.
Yeah, right. No pun intended. About your Batman cosplays, dude. Honest to God. You are one of the best Batman cosplays that we've seen thus far in the time that we have been doing this. Like, real shit, no joke, not gassing you up. Really, really love it, dude. And we're going to be throwing up, for the people that are watching, of course, we're going to be throwing up things up on the screen that Imposter does as we talk about it. And one of the ones I really want to highlight right off the bat right away. And we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff today. We're obviously, he's a cosplayer, so we're going to be talking about a lot of his cosplay and things like that, throwing stuff on the screen. Your Batman Hush, dude. Man, dude. You know what I like about a lot of your Batman cosplays that I don't see a lot of Batmans do as often? And maybe you do, maybe we just don't, you know? And it's not a knock to any of the ones that don't or do or anything like that. I'm just saying I personally dig it, is how you have the white eyes, dude.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of your Batman cosplays have the white eyes.
Yeah. That was something like I always wanted to do a comic book accurate. My first like ever cosplay that was based off Batman was the I'm not wearing hockey pads cosplay. So I was wearing hockey pads. Yeah. I made my own like emblem. I made all that. I built it from like nothing, and so it was like very like armor based and getting into this awesome community and meeting all these like amazing people through Instagram and like finding pages like your guys' podcast and like other designers and stuff. It's easy to like see all the talent that's out there. And all of a sudden, like anything becomes possible in that sense. So a lot of my inspiration actually came from Unmasked Studio, He did.
Yeah.
So when you guys featured, him,
we
my
did.
belt was on that episode. When you featured him, and then you ended up featuring me for like your 50th episode or whatever, where you had the big like the bug eating.
I know he knew what episode the whole time.
I knew what episode. No, I think it was 50. Yeah, I know. Bringing it to him, like he was able to bring to life a lot of the stuff I wanted. I wanted the navy blue without it looking cartoony. I wanted the comic book accurate without it just looking like spandex. So we had to find like the right pattern. Belt too, like Gearbox leather is amazing. Dude. I don't think he gets enough credit. Like he makes amazing work from leather, and like my belt is completely like for cons, you can put your ID in there. You can put the little money you have left, the $20 after buying tickets to travel. You can put a snack in there if you wanted to. But he brought it to life, and the cowl was actually by Hernandez FX, and he makes it so you can either do it with the white eyes or without it. So he has mesh that has Velcro in it.
That's what I was going to ask, because I know some people do like the contacts, and then some people actually have it on the mask itself.
And then with some people, I've noticed it's just within like the photographer that does the editing.
And some people will Photoshop it in as well.
My first suit was an animated series based suit, so I had Tiger Stone FX cowl, which with the really long ears. I made and 3D printed my own emblem and belt. If you go back to my page, you see way back there.
Was that the one
Scowl with the cowl
that Scowl with the cowl that you did at Dragon Con?
Yeah.
That'll be thrown up on the screen right now. We're looking at it right now. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, that's also one of my favorites. Like the cowl and the mask that you got going on there.
Yeah.
Totally cool, dude.
And I love a Batman that's mean mugging, man.
I
love like a serious
intimidating, dude.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be. It's not like a hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Batman.
It's supposed to be like, hey, you're doing some stuff.
It's supposed to intimidate, dude. It's supposed to be scary, man.
Which after enough Batman and like Daredevil, I am going to a cosplay like that, which like I'm ready to announce with you guys on this episode. So I'm actually really excited to it's finally. People who've been following, they've been kind of seeing it, but it's finally coming to a head. World premiere.
Your Batman Hush one, dude. The Bat logo on there. It kind of reminds me of like an old school Batman. Were you going for that purposely, or did it just turn out
like I said, very like comic book. Like I wanted it like very ripped from the pages. I think Unmasked Studio did that one as well. He made it out of leather. He cuts it and puts it on the suit. I said, my first one was a 3D printed one because I really wanted it to just like pop, because when you're doing the yellow emblem, so this is kind of like a nerdy Batman thing, but Batman wears a target on his chest and it's bulletproof. That's why it's yellow. So when I did the yellow one, I wanted it not to conform to the suit. I wanted to like pop out and really look almost like a toy.
Which it does. We're throwing that one up on the screen right now as well. The one where you had the suit was done by Unmasked Studio, the cowl was by Tiger Stone Effects, and the photo was
I forget how to pronounce.
I don't know how to pronounce the name. Series photo.
Series, he's my buddy out. He used to live in Orlando. He's phenomenal. He's easy to work with. He's always been like one of the guys, like besides my wife, because she takes a lot of my photos too.
Oh, dope, dude, dope.
She takes most of them, but the ones like that are edited and that you see like almost like a studio setup, those are some Cerise, and like I can tell him what I'm like seeing in my head, and he'll be like, I can do that. I can do that.
Awesome,
I can do that.
dude.
And he did that with the Dark Side photo, and I don't know if you want to throw that up. I don't want like, hey, throw this up.
Yeah, we do have the Dark Side
photo
ones
where
too.
he comes like through the wall, and it's like a melted wall, like that aura. Like I told him, like I wanted like Dark Side is here. I wanted like a rival photo. He's like, oh yeah, I got you. And that's like the first one he sent to me, where it's like all purple and red.
Sick, dude. I mean, all of them super sick, man. And then you did the, I believe it's the Batman Hush one that you did at Ancient City Con as well.
The Ancient City Con, so the virtual one, I have my Hush suit, and I did some like readings, and I had like a panel, but the original animated series suit was when conventions were still going on, and it was still easy to get to one. Was the actual first animated series suit I wore.
Was MegaCon? Was it MegaCon?
MegaCon, I didn't make it to MegaCon.
Oh, okay.
Because we started going to Dragon Con.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I have one here where you cosplayed, which this is absolutely awesome, dude. I've never seen it. I've personally never seen anything like it. I'm maybe there's other things out there, but I just personally haven't seen it. Where you did the mech suit from the Batman animated series.
Oh, that was MegaCon. Dude. Yeah, that one was. Oh man, that was like my first project working with foam. One of the guys who works in out in Orlando. He does a lot of great foam work.
Yeah.
And he was kind of guiding me on it, and it became like he kept telling me, he's like, this is going to be huge. I'm like, I don't care. I don't want to be able to walk around in it. And sure enough, here I am. And it's literally like one of those, I'm grabbing my leg, pulling it forward, grabbing my leg, pulling it forward.
It looks beefy, dude.
Yeah.
It looks so beefy and beastly. I actually really dig it, man. And the original design was actually by you yourself, and it was built by Mig, Slow-Mo, and you yourself. So I mean, that's really cool. And in this picture that we're throwing up, you're holding a kryptonite staff that was done by Diffused Accents, and that's diffused__accents_ on Instagram for those that want to check him out. But I just thought that this was really cool, creative, and kind of thinking outside the box and doing something different, dude. You know?
Yeah, because that's one thing I was gonna point out about that one is just you see a lot of like different Batmans. You see a lot more of the Batflicks now. You see, you know, there's different inspirations, but like for somebody to take it back to something like this and
that's
something
so
that,
cool, dude.
That, like I said, maybe there is something out there that maybe we just missed, but dude, that right there. You hit it like on the money. You almost got my chest size on it.
Almost. We actually based it off you.
I had a feeling, but I didn't want to say.
And I went to like Meat Wagon or something.
and they Meat Wagon Chronicle. There you go.
And I was like, pull this. This is what we need.
Exactly.
And the head size too.
And it's only the like the top of the top. Only the elite of the elite people can tune into Juice's Meat Wagon scenario stuff that he has. It's not out there for everybody. It's only the top people. So that's crazy that you got that.
I'm going to rename it.
Yeah.
Meat Wagon suit. It's the
Meat Wagon suit. Yeah, that's really what it is. Yeah. You're going to see this. After this episode, tons of people are going to start doing Meat Wagon suits, bro.
Meat Wagon suit.
oh man. God.
Speaking of like conventions and stuff real quick, man, do you have any like any interesting stories at conventions or any like crazy stories or anything cool or bad or I mean just anything that people may be like, "Oh shit," like that don't go to conventions or don't know the inside stories from cosplayers themselves, you know?
Yeah. I can hit you with a few. There's a million things to do, and you'll do maybe 3 of them. You'll do like 3 things that you want to do.
Yeah.
But it's like getting caught up in those like random moments is the best part. So I actually posted, I haven't posted videos before on my page, but I just posted a Cobra Kai one. We went as Cobra Kai.
I saw that. Yeah.
And we ran into other Cobra Kai, but they were the Cobra Kai from the original Karate Kid wearing the skeleton suit.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So it was like 8 of us, and we were all like super stoked to see each other. Like, oh my God, like Cobra Kai never died. Like it was season 1. Nobody had like watched the show yet. It was on YouTube, which like, do people even watch that? No. So it went to Netflix, you know, like that kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, like there's a Daniel son in the full like getup. Nice. And he starts like fighting with one of the Johnny Lawrence guys. So if you actually go on my Instagram, you'll see, and I just put the song over it, and dude, it is hilarious. That was just like everybody was together, living in the moment, like cosplay. Like it's not just costume. People forget like cosplay is also like playing, being the part, and it's like bringing those together. It was just like such a cool convention moment.
That's awesome.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. And then there was one, where my wife at DragonCon met the guy who plays Luke Cage, and she was super stoked to see him because that's when all the Netflix shows were there. And I saw her from across the convention. So I'm like, I want to meet Luke Cage. So I'm like, what? And I see him. I kid you not. My wife is next to him. They're taking the picture. He's smiling. Stops smiling. Steps in front of her.
Well, because he probably didn't know like what the hell's going on here.
Yeah, crazy deranged fan, which kind of, but like she looks at him. She does one of these. Yeah, like rolls her eyes and like, I know this guy. I'm married to him. Like that was really like, moments like that, man. Because people, like most of the artists and comic book creators and even actors, all those people, like you got to pay extra to see them. There's a lot of like, contract obligations they have to fulfill in their contract and stuff. But they're so cool and down to earth, most of them, when you meet them. Like they're in that convention. They know what kind of space they're in. And everyone's just like, I met Billy Zabka from Cobra Kai next day after, and I showed him the picture. He's like, oh yeah, these are my boys.
Nice.
Like, these are my boys. And he just like talked to me. I didn't have to like do anything. He just like, I walked up to him. I'm like, big fan. And he was really cool. So just going to a convention just changes everything in your perspective of being a nerd. Like you need to experience it for someone, if they haven't gone or they're nervous about going, I say go. Just go.
Yeah. That's what I've been telling
that's
Juice.
What kind of made it tough during this time. Like when we had started doing the podcast, like we had plans, and I think we've talked about it before about going to WonderCon, and that was gonna be because I've been to different types of conventions, right? Like I've been to like fitness conventions, I've been to tattoo conventions, etc. But like this would have been my first time going to an actual like comic book, kind of like cosplay
games or what have you for Juice,
con, right? So I was super stoked, and then like with this whole thing, everything got shut down. But we were excited because we had plans to meet people there. We had and I wanted to experience that. I wanted to go in and kind of see firsthand and talk to people like yourself that were like, hey, well, what's up? How's this going? How did you start? Why did you even start? Type of thing.
Yeah, we were just gonna go to have fun, but we were also going and we were gonna do like a interview style vlog episode, like a special episode, and we were gonna like interview people, and like you said, we had people lined up, like Amit Cosplay was one of them, and a couple other cosplayers that we were gonna actually meet in person for the first time, and then everything just got shut down, so it really sucks. I've said it before for the people that already know, I've been to a few conventions, like BlizzCon. I've been to like 2 or 3 BlizzCons before.
They're always around your birthday too.
Yeah, they're always around my birthday, so it's really cool. I spend my birthday at like BlizzCon and stuff, doing something that I like.
Awesome.
I'm a big World of Warcraft player. And then I've been to E3 twice, which is I have mixed feelings about, which a lot of people do. It's one of the biggest gaming conventions ever, which is not really and especially with what's going on in the world now.
Yeah, I think you said the lines, like waiting a long time to play just a short amount of time.
It's like a Disneyland type thing. But I mean, if you're like a real diehard fan or whatever, then of course you're not as affected by it. But I will admit, like, it does kind of suck if you're not. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little more used to it because I'm here in California and I've gone to Disneyland like all my life. So I'm like, I know what to expect. Like, I'm going to Disneyland. I know I'm spending a lot more time in lines than I am doing anything else.
Doing the fun stuff,
So I guess I'm a little bit more used to it. But I know a lot of other people and people that I've gone with before that haven't gone to them. They complained a lot like throughout the time. They're just not used to it.
Which was funny, dude. I've been to Disneyland a lot of times as a kid. It's one of the things that our parents always kind of try to take us out every once in a while.
Yeah.
Back when it wasn't like $1,000, to like get a cup of water or something.
Yeah, exactly.
But when I started going with Chaz, actually for the first time, it's like the way he moves kind of through stuff, it kind of showed me different.
It's the New York in me. That's why. Yeah. My family's from New York, and everything in New York is like you wasting no time. It's go.
It showed me how to kind of move through stuff, but then a lot of that was like, okay, we're moving, we're going here, we're gonna stop, and then boom, we stop. We talked with people. We're having our fun, hang out. Like that.
See, and of course it's different. I think too. And I don't know if I mean you would go as a cosplayer. I don't know if have you ever gone to any conventions not as a cosplayer, just to go.
Oh,
for
yeah, man. I pick a day where I don't go in cosplay.
Okay,
because if you have one that's like popular, and popular, like Batman. Batman's a popular character. They love to see Batman.
You're
you're stopping taking pictures.
You're probably stopping all day, right?
They're completely different days for me.
Oh yeah.
One is we're taking pictures and having fun. The other is we're exploring and meeting people. Like I go separate. There's no way.
I think it's always fun too if you're going in like groups of people that kind of share similarities with you and interests. If you're all going together, like such as when we would go to Disneyland, we would go in groups.
Yeah.
A couple of us. So like when you're waiting in those lines, you're hanging out, you're talking, you're passing the time.
We actually spent New Year's Eve there and watched
we did. We spent a New Year's Eve at Disneyland, and it was fun.
Freezing our sacks off.
Oh it was like 30 degrees or something, 29 degrees that day. But it was fun. Don't get me wrong, we had a great time. Yeah. But oh my God, if you've never been to Disneyland, I'm sure Disney World is even worse because you're in Florida.
I go. We've gone 7 times this year. We're going next week.
Oh, nice.
Nice. We go. Yeah, we go easy. We figured out the days. We figured out, like you said, how to maneuver, where to go.
Exactly. Yeah.
You got to have a game plan when you go there.
We went on New Year's Eve and it was absolutely chaotic, dude.
I can't imagine. That would be a no-go for me.
It was insane, but it was nice to experience it one time. But I don't know if I'd do it again.
No,
it was crazy.
Kind of yeah, like once at least, right?
Yeah. And that's how I feel about the conventions and stuff. I know we just kind of went off on a whole Disneyland tangent, but it's like that's how I feel about the conventions. Like sometimes, if some people they're for it, some people they're not. I guess I'm different, being the New York stuff, and then being used to Disneyland my whole life, so it doesn't bother me as much. I guess everybody's different. You have an amazing cosplay. of your Nightmare sequence Robin, dude. Like that one actually, in a way, blew my mind. And if anybody doesn't know, the Nightmare sequence, the scene in BVS, Batman v Superman, where Batman's in like the trench coat and he's got the gun and everything and the scarf and the dark side is doing the shit. What is it called again? Dark side's what are the things called that fly? The what?
Parademons.
Yes, the parademons. There we go. The parademons are flying and all that stuff's happening. That's the Nightmare sequence for people that don't remember in BVS. And you have a really cool Nightmare sequence inspired Robin. And it's just, I can't even think of the words. Like, it's so perfect, dude. I feel like this is exactly what Zack Snyder would envision if Robin was in this sequence as well. Like, it's that down pat for me personally.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Thank
dude.
you. Yeah, I hated that sequence when I saw in the trailer.
You didn't like it?
That was my least favorite. It was so out of place. It felt forced, and I was like, "Why are they doing this? This is showy. Like Batman's wearing a trench coat. So dumb." And then I told Juice at the beginning, I'm like, "I flip flop, man. I'll change my mind. Like I give it some time, but." I fell in love with it. Like the idea of it seeded something long term. It seeded something like this story exists in this movie.
Yeah.
But there's something planned for further along. And just the way it was executed was so perfect. And I fell in love with that. And I thought to myself, like, everyone started doing Nightmare Batman.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but what if Robin like survived? Like, what if there was a Nightmare Robin? And they gave you a suit to work off of. As a cosplayer, you know that image where he looks at it for half a second and all of us cosplayers were like,
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
it's like that. It's like that one scene where all the math equations are going around. You're like, all right, how am I gonna do this? Let me figure this out. Oh my god!
It's kind of like now.
I got it.
A beautiful mind situation. Right?
Yeah, he's taking notes. All right, let me see real quick.
Which I hope, man, moving forward, we see more Robin, dude. I don't feel Robin is one of those characters within that franchise or series that never gets enough love, I feel. And I've always been like a huge Robin fan.
Which I believe Zach said that the Robin that died in his universe was Dick Grayson, I believe, is what Zack Snyder said.
He did.
So I
mean, different ways adding his own spin to it. Like I'm obsessed with Batman. That's my main hero. Like my whole life, all I want to do was Batman. That's why I do so much Batman.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, like the Snyder Cut coming out, I've been nothing but ready for it. And Me too. Yeah.
Me too.
Who hasn't? Like, right.
I'm really interested in seeing it. I have, as I'm sure you've seen, because you watch the show or listen to the show. Which thank you, by the way. We definitely are fans of DC and Marvel and all that stuff. I'm very, very skeptical about like what DC's doing and what they've got going on, and I voiced my opinions whether people agree with them or not. I'm very worried about what DC is doing or maybe not doing maybe on certain things as well.
Yeah, it's not DC. That's the
problem. I guess it'd be WB,
like,
right?
It's got the DC. Yeah, it's WB's got control of it.
It's
Marvel can do what they're doing because it's Marvel Studios.
Exactly, yeah.
That's a studio made to make those movies. Yeah. WB doesn't need DC movies. They got Harry Potter. They got Harry Potter.
So much stuff.
Like, they got so much stuff that the DC is not for that. Like they do it as a money-making machine.
Yes.
And that's what they're trying to do. And that's why it's quote unquote failing.
Which also I think that's why they're doing so many Batmans, because they know that formula works. It'll get people in seats, and it sells. No matter what they do, they stamp Batman on it, it'll sell.
Right. That's the problem. I've always said this. Marvel has made the better movies. DC has made the better games.
Yep. Animated
cartoons,
shows. Yep.
Comics.
100%.
Toys. Yeah. That, like anything, characters. DC has it all.
Yeah.
When they make movies, which is the most popular outlet form out there, everybody watches movies. Like people, audience members, they want to go see a movie. They drop the ball. And it's sad because I enjoy DC characters way more than I enjoy Marvel. Like I love Marvel characters.
Yeah.
Like I'm a huge fan. Loved everything they did in the past 12 years.
Yeah.
10 years. I'm a massive fan. But also it's like, it's not DC, it's Warner Bros. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah. You brought up the games and everything, DC and the games and the animated shows and all that. What do you feel about the two new games coming? I think is it this year or I think it's next year? Are they both coming next year?
Or it might be this year.
The Suicide Squad kills the Justice League, and then the what's the other one? Man, we covered it, but I can't think of the name.
Gotham Knights.
Gotham Knights. Yes, that one. I don't know which one I'm more stoked about. I think I lean a little bit more towards Gotham Knights.
I think I'm more excited for Gotham Knights, just because there's some characters in there that we haven't been able to play as.
Get to play as Red Hood.
We haven't been able to play as before. So there's like the Red Hood. There's the Nightwing. There's just
Robin, Batgirl. or Batwoman?
Yeah,
Batgirl.
Batgirl.
I think it's Batgirl.
So you guys bring up a good point. I'm only not as excited for Suicide Squad because I haven't seen any gameplay.
Yeah,
for
we
all
only saw
I know,
that
that could be a
trailer.
dungeon crawler. Which
Exactly.
dungeon crawlers are cool, but if they're showing like a trailer like that and it ends up being like I've seen trailers like that. Have you seen a Spider-Man Friend or Foe trailer?
Yeah.
If you guys never seen that, that game was.
Yeah,
and it's
not
like
what
Venom
it
is there and Green Goblin, and he's like, and they're all based off like the movies, and it was so cool.
Yeah,
and it was a dungeon crawler, and it just really underplayed the video.
Yeah.
The second I saw the Suicide Squad trailer, I got the same feelings. I was like, not till I see gameplay. Gotham Knights. The only thing I'm a little like about is because I play a lot with my friends online because that's how we all like stay in touch nowadays, and just being so far in these times.
Yeah.
Gotham Knights has 4 characters, man.
I already know what you're going to say. I think we said the same thing. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't understand this.
Why would you do that? You are robbing yourself.
So I'm also thinking, is that something that they're waiting to see kind of how the game performs to then later on let us play them?
Maybe they'll add it. Maybe they'll add it and change it because of everybody's saying the same thing.
Or it's going to be a situation where they're going to be like, hey, guess what? Buy this combat pack and you're going to get to play the other 2 characters.
I hope it's not anything like that.
Game $60, combat pack $100. Yep. Here I go. Like
it makes no sense that you can't play with 4 people when there's 4 characters. It just makes no sense.
It's like because it's Nightwing, it's Red Hood, it's Robin, and it's Batgirl.
And you're selling that. You are selling the character.
Selling point.
Yeah.
Your selling point isn't Gotham City or the gameplay. We've seen it. We've played Arkham Knight. Like you're selling the fact that you guys got sold. Red Hood, Nightwing, like hell yeah.
Yeah.
But only use 2 of them.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't make any sense.
No, like
exactly.
Make a Ninja Turtle game and let me only use 2 turtles. See how happy people are.
Exactly, dude.
Michelangelo for sure.
But I'm holding out hope. Like 2 PlayStations, my wife and I will get on it. Yeah. I'll look into it definitely for sure.
Who are you most excited to play in Gotham Knights?
Well, so you guys mentioned that you don't get to play those characters, but I see what you mean. Like you don't get to play them in a full game.
Yeah.
But they have the combat maps in Arkham Knight that lets you use Red Hood.
No way. How did I miss that?
Dude, lets you use Red Hood, Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin. Let's use all of them.
Wait. In which Arkham? In which Arkham?
Arkham Knight.
Oh, okay, that's why I didn't play Arkham Knight. I played the other ones, but I never played Arkham Knight.
Get on Arkham Knight.
Okay, that's why I'm missing that one.
And I'll give you a little hint that makes the game way more fun. Like something that a lot of people complained about was the Batmobile, and they're like, "Oh, you have to like hold the trigger to be in like armor mode, whatever." All you do is go change the settings and you just change the button and the game feels so much better. Right.
Yeah, but I didn't play that one. I think it's on the Xbox Game Pass. I don't know if it's available for PC, but I know it's on Xbox. I think I downloaded it.
I started playing it and then I stopped playing it.
Because I think now more than I think all of them actually might be, the whole Arkham series might be available on the Game Pass if you have Xbox. I think. I'm not sure.
It got destroyed because PC was so full of glitches.
Yeah, that's another reason why I didn't get it, because originally I wanted
you guys
on
are bigger PC.
I am. Juice is gonna get into it. I originally wanted to get Arkham Knight on PC, but it was so full of glitches that I never did it. And one of our friends, Tony Chavez, he got it. I believe he got it, and it was just like, everybody else. It was riddled, and he got a refund, didn't want to play. And I think that's what altered my never getting it. That's why I never got it. Yeah. But I do have consoles too, so I could have got it on console, but I guess I just didn't, and I never got around to it. But I believe I downloaded it on Game Pass.
Yeah, I would. I'm a huge avid for just being a Batman fan, but I will tell you that game has some of the best side missions I've ever seen in a game. And I even have friends who aren't like big into Batman like me, and they've claimed the same thing.
Okay.
That Spider-Man game, it was cool, but the second you have me chasing pigeons, I'm not doing that.
He said
Arkham Knight, you miss parts of the world and the map and the characters and stories if you don't do a side mission. You miss like the heart of it. So if you guys get the time amongst the 3 million other games you guys got planned,
for that one, I have so many games on my Steam alone, dude. Which, by the way, are you? What kind of consoles do you play on? Do you play on PC, Xbox, PlayStation?
I'm a lot on PlayStation 4. I was never a big PC gamer.
Gotcha.
I've started slowly getting back into PC, trying to play Left 4 Dead. That was like my heart. Like I love that game, and I got on there. We did like a Left 4 Dead LAN party where like 10 of us got together. We set up TVs,
old school.
and it was just like. man, like especially the older games, like people mod them, and then there was like 10 zombies and 30 survivors, and it just like it loses that feeling for me. But now they're coming out with Back 4 Blood. I don't know if you guys heard about that.
No,
that's
I didn't.
So pretty much all the creators and developers of Left 4 Dead are making a Left 4 Dead ripoff game. And they're calling it Back 4 Blood. They've got the special infected, same type of gameplay. If you go watch the gameplay, they've got the same type of like safe house doors, mechanics, everything. Back 4 Blood. Like,
look at us learning. You know what I mean? Fucking A.
You guys would love it.
First time we don't know something.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I was like, maybe
fucking A, dude.
that.
I have so many games on Steam, dude. I think I have like 200 something games that I've downloaded, and like probably more than half of them I haven't even got around to playing. I just see them, I see deals, and I'm like, okay, gotta get that. You know what I mean? Gotta get that. Oh shit, that's on sale for $12 today. Gotta get that.
Well,
and then I do the same thing on every console I have, and I never get around to playing all of them. I have so many.
Right. It's funny that you say that, because I did that yesterday, because they're coming out with that new Hitman game, and I love Hitman.
Yes, Hitman
I know
3.
a lot of people like it's a niche. Like, you got to really like that kind of style game.
Yeah, I used to be a huge Hitman fan. Huge Hitman. Played all of them, and then the more recent ones, I kind of fell off because I know kind of what you're gonna say. You got to be really into that game. You got to kind of have patience to play that game.
You do. You got it's replay. It's like Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
Replay.
Exactly.
And a lot of people don't like games like that, and I think it's got to be the right type of game. For me, like the payoff in that game is so huge when you do pull it off in a really spectacular fashion. So
definitely.
I started playing, finished the first one, and then like on the PlayStation.
I think I did the first one too. I beat the first one.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah,
but the second one's now $20, and it's the gold bundle. So it's usually $100 with all the like expansion and missions.
Yeah.
And now because the third one's coming out, they dropped it to 20. I'm like, download that immediately.
Exactly.
And then my PlayStation like froze for 3 days. It was like downloading every map for Hitman 2. I was like, all right.
See, I'm so like bad that I'll literally see games like even that I like used to play all the time, kind of like what you just said. Like I saw like Titanfall. The Titanfall bundle was on sale. Titanfall 1 and 2 for I don't even know. I think it was like $14. And I knew kind of in my head like I'm probably not going to play it,
but I'm
I was
gonna
like,
buy it anyway.
I can't pass it up. It's only like $14.
I'm buying it.
So I bought it. I played it like a few, like maybe 3 hours of it, and then I haven't touched it since.
Which I've said so many times, and I'm so glad that Xbox did that with the Game Pass, because I was able to look back at a bunch of different Halos. I was able to, which I already had the Master Chief Collection, but I was able to look back at Titanfall. I downloaded some of that. I started playing it because it's free on Game Pass.
Midnight Club is on the Game Pass,
They brought
bro.
over a lot of EA stuff.
The EA Play stuff.
A lot of the EA Play stuff.
That's live now, right?
Yeah, I was able to play
it out.
I was able to play some soccer stuff in there because.
Are any of the boxing games on there?
That I didn't check out.
I'm not a huge sports game guy, but I used to love boxing games, dude.
Yeah. Well, you know what I downloaded was UFC 3.
Oh, my brother's big on the UFCs too. Yeah.
I got UFC 3 on there, and I have a 1 terabyte fucking Xbox, right?
Yeah.
Same. I'm starting to run out of space.
Yeah.
It's one thing that I talked to Chaz about. I think it's automatic for anybody who plays Call of Duty. It doesn't matter where you play on PlayStation. Xbox got hit the hardest.
Yeah, Xbox hit the hardest.
Doesn't matter if you play PlayStation, PC, etc. You need to get a separate drive for that game.
100%. Just for Call of Duty.
Just for Call of Duty.
Yeah. Do you play Call of Duty or no?
No. I played
no
when it was free. I downloaded it, played a little bit, but my wife doesn't have the patience for getting killed, respawning.
It's not for everybody.
We tried to do that with like Battlefront. So we ended up like playing Star Wars Battlefront 2, and we just ended up like playing Heroes for 2 years.
I feel
it's just like all the heroes versus each other.
That's the thing though too. I mean, how do you? What are your thoughts on Battlefront? While we're talking about it, real quick.
Battlefront 1 was amazing because it was very straightforward and easy to play. You got on there. There was a few maps. You got on Hoth. You know, you can get an AT-AT. You can get an ATST. You can become Darth Maul. You kill people, and you know you go about your way. Battlefront 2, they just put too much in place, like too much that you couldn't experience to the fullest.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things like the convention. You try to do it all, you can't do any of it. Yeah, and that's what it turned into.
And I found myself getting bored.
I can't enjoy any part of it.
I found myself getting bored with Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Like
very fast.
I didn't really think there was also. It's like it's weird. There was a lot going on, but there also to me wasn't enough to differentiate it from the first one.
Yeah,
in my opinion, I know that may sound weird, but
like all the stuff they added made it less fun.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just found myself getting bored, but it kind of looks good. But I just found myself getting bored with it.
Yeah,
But what were
agreed.
you gonna say?
Yeah.
You were gonna say something?
I forgot, dude.
Okay, well, let's break the monotony real quick. Real quick. Let's break the monotony real quick and let's get into this week's
cosplay of the week. Thank you for joining in. We love that, man.
Hell
and
yeah,
this
man.
cosplay
Alright.
of the week was brought,
Was chosen by
Imposter Cosplay.
Yeah, Imposter
so thank
Cosplay
you.
chose this one, sent it to us. We talked about it, and we're showcasing it here today. We're throwing it up on the screen right about now. And this week's Cosplay of the Week, chosen by Imposter Cosplay, which I do want to preface this, though, real quick. I do want to say, when we tend to have, this is only our second one, but it's going to be a thing moving forward, of course. When we have cosplayers on, especially, obviously, too, those ones that we've already done as the cosplay of the week, if it pans out like that, we like to do something different. And when we have these cosplayers on, since we're talking about their cosplay probably the majority of the episode or a portion of it, we like to let the cosplayer choose another cosplayer for whatever their reasons may be. I think it's just kind of cool. It's something different. Instead of us choosing it, they're choosing it. Since we chose the cosplay that's on as the guest, they're choosing the cosplay of the week. And this week's cosplay of the week is EMG555 on Instagram. And this is one of the most amazing cosplays because it's so different.
Yeah, and that's not a cosplay that we see very often. It's and I wish we did see more of it.
Yes, it's so different. It's from Biker Mice from Mars. Does anybody remember Biker Mice from Mars?
Yeah.
It was a 90s show.
You're also
Came
giving
out
yourself
in,
away on how old you are.
Yeah, exactly. If you
right
do
now.
remember. It came out
I don't
in
care.
it was
Biker Mice from Mars.
It was a show. It was also a game too, which we'll get into it after
Yeah.
the cosplay because we're supposed to be showcasing the cosplay. But I just want to say, Biker Mice from Mars was originally a show. It aired in 1993, and then it was a video game that came out in '94. But anyway, we'll get to that. Let's check this out. Biker Mice from Mars, dude. And the caption says, "On my planet, there are only 3 things that matter: your brains, your bros, and your bike."
And they all had Harley style bikes and like Indian style bikes, and like that was dope.
And this is cool, dude. I mean, literally look at this. If you're looking at it right now, you're obviously
You're looking at it.
You're looking at it. If you're just listening, go head on over to youtube.com/Side Project Podcast and watch this episode or check out on Instagram, EMG555. He's also from San Diego, California. It looks like if you're not from there, that's at least where this picture was taken. Which, by the way, Imposter, do you know this person personally or no?
Yeah, no, I don't know him personally. It's someone I've been following. The reason like I chose him, like I have mad respect for anybody in cosplay. I know how much work it takes to create something.
Yeah.
Even like photos, like creating photos is a job in and of itself.
Yeah.
So like I even give more props to people who can really do something that like I can't do.
Yeah.
And
Gotcha.
this guy is really amazing at like makeups and doing like cosplays like that. And if
Special
you even like
effects
go follow him, follow him
definitely.
first of all.
Yeah.
And go back and he did like a Thundercats Lino cosplay.
Yeah,
You gotta go
I was
back
looking
to
at it.
about
I was looking at his
Thundercats,
other
dude.
stuff. He has some really crazy cool cosplays aside from just Biker Mice.
Yeah, definitely. But focusing on Biker Mice because that was the one that like it was a tough decision. There was a lot of cosplayers I know and a lot of people I follow and cosplays that really like just stand out to me. And it was tough to like make a choice. You guys know that. 'cause we were going back and forth.
Definitely. Yeah.
Like, I was like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I stuck with him because it was so weird. You know how your phone like listens to you?
Yeah.
You guys know that.
Of course.
So I was like, right. So I was like thinking one
Yes.
day,
Yeah.
like I'm like, how could I ever pull off a Biker Mice from Mars cosplay?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
wait, I can't. And then this popped up, and I was like,
that's how it happens.
Yeah,
Oh, man,
just think about it and
that's
it's there.
hilarious,
That's how it
dude.
goes.
I'm
Yeah.
trying
This
to
crazy-
look this thing up real
This
quick.
cosplay is cool, man. I mean, he's got the big ears like a mouse.
Yeah.
He's got, since they're Biker Mice from Mars, he's got the what would you call these, like tentacles? What are those things called that like insects have and stuff? You know?
yeah, like antennas. or something.
Antennas. There we go. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
this
obviously
is-
the
this is-
makeup
this is,
going on. The mold, it looks like probably
Yeah.
some type of mold. The buck teeth. what
Throttle,
was that?
right? This is Throttle.
I think so. I
from-
don't remember all their names off the top of my head. I'd have to look
It's
at it
Thr-
again.
it's
Yeah, I
Throttle,
can't either, 'cause
Vinny,
I watched it so long.
and Moto.
Moto or
Moto?
Moto.
No,
Moto. Is it
but
Moto?
I
don't remember.
believe the only one out of all of them that wore the vest was Throttle.
Okay,
and then
yeah.
he was supposed to be like 6'4", 260 pounds. You know, so like
Yeah.
I got the weight. I'm just off in height by
Right.
Yeah, exactly. You're a
it's not that
special
one out of
edition.
by
boy.
a whole foot. You know, but
Yeah.
You'll be the special edition, the DLC character.
No, we'll talk about that later.
But this cosplay is really dope. He's got the vest going on, the muscles going on. You can even see the indentation there with the pecs going on. You know, the pecs. What's going on, bro? And you know, it's just
the
awesome,
shading of
dude.
the muscles,
Yeah,
like, just
man.
very like
He's got it down, dude. Sitting on the bike and everything. It's real cool. And I do want to shout out the makeup artist is at crowcaw_effects. The cosplay, he labels it as cosplay, but I'm assuming that it's like the suit and stuff that he's wearing and things like that was at Soloka. I'm gonna spell it in case I'm mispronouncing it.
SEWLOKA.
There we go. And the photography was at ron.d.photography on Instagram. And this is really cool, man. I like it because it's so different. You don't see stuff like this very often. And it's just so like nostalgic and 90s. If you grew up in the 90s, if you're around our age and stuff like that, it's just like, it's such a little nostalgic thing. And even if you really didn't get into it or watch it, I'm sure that you've at least heard of it or may have seen it at some point in time if you're around this era and stuff like that. And I think that this is
I'm digging
just
the
a really
red
cool
star
cosplay.
on the little earlobe, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did it. He knocked it out of the park. I mean, even the one thing like that I think, and it's like the details, like when you're making cosplay, you have to really ask yourself, is this detail worth it? Will this make it or break it?
Yeah.
Like for my Knightmare Robin, when you brought it up earlier, I was gonna put a yellow lining in the trench coat. Not once do you see the inside of my trench coat.
Yeah.
Like that would have been such a waste of time and frustration. Like it was unneeded. The one thing I think that makes this guy's pop that like would make it less if he hadn't done it is the teeth.
Yeah. Yes.
Like look at the teeth.
Yeah.
Like just
100%.
that
Dude. Yeah.
makes it just like gives it that more like alien feeling.
Exactly.
You know, like
it's really
that kind of
really
stuff
cool, man.
really
it's
brings
something,
it together. You
it's
know,
something so simplistic that you wouldn't think would make a difference, but like
It
you
does.
said,
Yeah.
it's the simplest details that kind of bring the whole thing together. And dude, I dig it, man. I love it.
I
I
dig
love
it,
it.
dude. EMG555 on Instagram,
doing
dude.
this?
Biker Mice from Mars. Your cosplay of the week for us is amazing.
Oh, I love it, dude. I love it.
Yes,
I
dude.
love when
I
we
like
get
that the
people
right in the
cosplayers are
frame,
doing
man.
it. Emmett Cosplay did it too. Fucking awesome, man.
He was like, we're doing this.
I was ready. My fingers were like, now I'm done.
Were
Now
you
I'm
practicing
done.
in front of the mirror like before you did the episode?
Yeah,
Like,
he's like, he's practicing
Yeah,
all our
actually-
catchphrases and shit.
Yeah.
All right, amazing. All right, cosplay of the week in the mirror and everything.
I was
dig
even
it,
like
man.
finger guns were cocked and loaded. I was
He's all
waiting, but those
doing
will
the
come
pistols
later.
and everything, just getting them ready.
Pistol.
Your wife
They come
walks
from
in.
the
What are you doing? Don't worry about it. Going on a podcast later today.
imagine trying to explain that to somebody. Like,
I know.
Yeah, I'm practicing
Yeah.
for this podcast.
What's going
real
on?
quick.
Don't you worry about it.
Yeah, it's all good. It'll all come together in a couple days. Don't worry about it.
That's fucking awesome.
That's funny,
Dude,
man.
Biker Mice from Mars, man. I never watched the show, but I did. I was really into the game when I was a kid. Did anybody ever play the
Yeah,
game?
so the game was released when
I think a year after the show came out.
Well,
94.
the game was 93. No, the
Show.
The show was from 93 to 96, and that was the
And it was an
original
animated
one.
series, by the way. I don't think we mentioned that.
It's the animated series. It's an original. Was from 93 to 96, like I said, and then it later got a revival in 2006 that only had like 28 episodes that went on for like a year.
But in 2006, it was only a revival in the UK. It wasn't a revival here in the US until 2008.
Oh, see, I
I
didn't
never
know
seen it.
that.
Insider.
I never seen it.
I didn't see it. I
So
don't remember that either.
Yeah, so the original one, I believe, had 65 episodes, and it ran from September 18th
Nice.
through February 24th, which would be
Nice.
obviously 93 to 96, right?
Yeah.
And then, the actual revival show was from August 26th, 2006 to July 26th, 2007.
Nice.
But then, obviously, like when we
Different
might have
when
got
we got it, it was probably
a
2008
year
to
later,
2009.
but that
or
only
some shit.
had
Yeah.
28 episodes. It was like 30 minutes apiece, and this is one of those things about old school cartoons, right? Like from the 90s, was that we would I would love waking up to like Saturdays, right?
Yeah, Saturday morning cartoons.
Saturday morning, you turn it on, you watch it with your bowl of cereal. Your eyes are still crusty.
I would
you know?
Yeah, it's exactly
You're
how
sitting there doing all the impressions and just like you were like,
I was literally doing all of that. Yeah.
You know, like it's funny because like when you are like that young, like so I watched that stuff in Germany. Like I grew up in Germany over there.
Shit.
So the weirder stuff is even more popular over there.
Nice.
Right?
Really?
The weird like low scale like Biker Mice, that was like you're watching Biker Mice, like they're advertising that.
That's
so it was
crazy.
really
I
funny.
didn't know you were
But
from Germany, man.
I didn't know that
grew
either.
up in Germany.
I didn't know that
I
either.
grew up there. I was there till I was about 10.
Oh shit.
Damn.
Nice, dude. Do you
Okay.
speak any German?
No, I completely forgotten it.
Oh,
It's funny,
fucking A.
actually. Everything I remember from Germany has been like translated in English. Like all my memories, like it's really weird.
Just converted.
Well, I mean, you
I
did
am
say
no
you
longer
adapt.
living
You
this
adapt
life.
well to things, right? Because
Yeah,
we're talking about that off camera.
Yeah.
So it's like German,
Right.
English, boom,
Yeah.
we're good to
Boom.
go.
Right, just go back to it. Like, yeah, I wanted to pick it up back in college and just like ignite that spark.
You know,
but
That's one of the
never
languages
had the
I've always
chance.
wanted to learn, but I
Yeah.
heard it's hard to learn, dude.
Yeah, so between Russian and German in particular, because for me at least, and maybe this is different for you because you grew up, you know, like you said, up until 10 years old, always sounded like very authoritative,
And
intimidating
aggressive. Yeah.
language.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
you might have just been saying, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah.
just the way it sounds,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. They emphasize all
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
like hard letters, you know.
I always thought it'd be
Yeah.
cool to be like in a line at Disneyland and
Just say
see
some random
somebody
shit
and
that
just start
nobody
like
knows.
talking to somebody in German. You can just talk shit about somebody they'd never know.
But then
That's
you're
my
screwed.
goal.
You're screwed, right?
No, I all speak like 50 languages. Like everybody who works for
It's
Disney.
true.
But then you're screwed because you wouldn't think
People would know,
imposter.
You know what's
Grew
crazy
up in-
too is
You know what I'm
sometimes you know what's really crazy is there is a large portion. I don't remember exactly which one, but it's somewhere in Asia. One of the Asian races. I'm teeter tottering on not sounding like not saying it wrong and offending somebody. You know what I mean? In the world that we live in. But there's a large portion of the Asian community that actually speaks Castilian. And Castilian's a form of Spanish, which is my family. They speak Castilian. And I remember one time my dad was telling me when he was a little bit younger, he was talking to somebody kind of behind somebody's back. And the Asian guy just came out with it and was speaking full on Castilian. And my dad was like, what the fuck
just happened?
Yeah. And he was like, God damn, that backfired. And then he learned, he told me he learned there's a portion of
Big
the Asian
community,
community that speaks Castilian for whatever reason it dates back to. I don't remember. But I was just bringing that up because you never know, dude. You never know. I was joking, by the way, about standing in line and talking shit about people. For anybody that takes that serious, it was a joke. Yeah.
No.
But anyway, did you ever play the Biker Mice from Mars game?
Just like, it's funny. Like, I didn't know about the game, and I learned about it recently when looking at the cosplays and stuff. But what was funny is like when you're a kid and like before like internet and social media, and you're a kid, like these like C grade shows, they weren't C grade shows to you.
Yeah.
Like you grew up and you like this as much as you like Ninja Turtles, which you like. Street Sharks? Did you guys ever watch Street Sharks?
Street Sharks,
Yes.
Yes, I
Like,
used to watch Street Sharks, dude.
Street Shark. Like we'd go in the snow and we would tape our mittens to our heads and we would run through the snow
And act like the Street
pretending
Sharks?
we were the Street Sharks.
Oh, dude, you know what was hilarious was
That's awesome,
which that
dude.
brings. Okay, so I grew up in kind of like Linwood, Compton area, which if you're not from LA, you're not gonna know. But point is, I grew up in like that area, and we used to go to a pool, and I had this little piece that attaches to like a fin.
Oh, nice.
And I would just like go
And
off
act
the
like a
deep.
shark.
Yeah.
This is shit that you would do as a kid,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
Fucking
Simpler
times, dude.
Street Sharks was awesome, man. We ran from 94 to 97. And I used to really like Street Sharks. And I always thought, as I got a little bit older in life and got even more into gaming and stuff, I always thought that like Biker Mice from Mars had a game. And it was actually fun. It was like a racing game. You guys should check it out. Look it up on YouTube or whatever. Developed by Konami. It was for Super Nintendo, I believe.
On November 1st. Yeah, it was for the
And
SNES.
I remember playing that with one of my friends when I was a kid, irrelevant, but just, to bring the story in. And I remember playing that a lot. And I always remember thinking, like, why Street Sharks didn't have a game?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
understand maybe it's a
Yeah.
little bit easier for Biker Mice. They're on bikes, so it just kind of clicks. You could make a racing
You don't need
game.
to do much.
Yeah,
You
super
don't need to
easy.
do much. You put them on bikes and then you sell it.
But I feel like Street Sharks could have been like a beat 'em up game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Kind of
and
like
then-
Double
and then
Dragon or Battletoads,
And
something
then
along
if
the
you
lines
kinda-
of that.
If you look
Yeah.
into the backstory of Street Sharks, right? It was they're teenagers, regular teenagers that for whatever reason
It's like a scientist or something, right?
transformed or whatever and got turned into sharks, and then
Yeah.
they got their own special abilities between
I've
tiger
never
shark
heard of this type of storyline.
Yeah, so it'd be, but it'd be,
Science, you know,
Yeah. I think it was like a
But it'd be-
scientist experiment gone wrong or something. I don't remember the exact.
So they
the
got
whole thing, yeah.
so it was like a hammerhead shark, a tiger shark,
Yeah.
a whale shark, etc.
Oh.
They all have their own special abilities, and
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it still would be a dope game that I think would translate now, but I don't know.
Be like a
if-
nostalgic throwback thing.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. It would have to be like a smaller company. Maybe it won't be like a
Had
big
to be like a
AAA
free
game.
to play or like a couple like $7 or something. You know?
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
just cheap. Throw it.
Just
up.
give it free to like
Yeah.
Imposter and then side projects.
exactly.
you know,
just give it free to
yeah.
us. Just make
And
the
we'll
game
play it.
specifically just for us.
we'll stream it. We'll play nothing but that for
exactly.
hours.
Exactly.
We'll let you know
dude.
if it's good or not.
Did you know? Did you guys know that? Does anybody remember? Alongside how they did like obviously Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was first. It was like in the 80s, and it's kind of
Right.
like where I think you could see these shows coming from, like these mutant hybrid mutant people like
Animals
turning
turning
into
into people,
turning
yeah.
into like humanoids and stuff. There was also Extreme Dinosaurs. Does anybody remember that?
No.
Where it
That
was
I
like-
don't.
Was that a cartoon?
It was a cartoon, yeah. It was an animated
No.
show in the 90s. I don't remember all the details, but I just remember it was like dinosaurs, kind of like the same thing as Street Sharks. They were like turned into like humanoidish kind of dinosaurs, but they were dinosaurs, but you know what I mean? And they talked and stuff. And then they even did a team up, like a full on like Marvel's Avengers type thing or like Justice League.
I remember
where the
that.
Extreme Dinosaurs teamed up with the Street Sharks. And they
I
were called-
remember an episode where there was dinosaurs.
Yes, it was actually like a whole 2 seasons apparently. I didn't know that.
That I didn't.
Yeah, as I
Wow.
was looking stuff up because we were talking about biker mice and stuff, I was looking up Street Sharks
Yeah.
and everything, and then on YouTube it showed it said Dino Vengers and Street Sharks, and I was like, wait, why does that sound familiar? Then I clicked it and I went down a whole rabbit hole, and I was like, oh shit, I
yeah.
like vaguely remembered seeing this. I don't think I
Starts
was
triggering, yeah.
I don't think I was too into it, but I have a vague memory of it, you know. But you guys should
Yeah.
when we're done here or whatever, you guys should look that up
Yeah.
and see if you remember it. It's kind of cool to see though too. It's like dinosaurs,
Damn it, why didn't we-
sharks, and
why
they go
didn't-
off and they do
This should have
stuff.
been one of those our opinions of games that should have been. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like a
this could have been
Street
another
Shark.
one,
Yeah.
dude.
God
Trips,
damn.
But it's-
trips
it's-
down memory lane, man.
They
ActionMan.
really could have done that. My bad. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm so sorry. They really
You're good,
could.
you're
They
good.
really could have done like the Street Sharks game in the same vein that they did like Double Dragon and Battletoads games separately. They could have done like a Street Sharks and then a Extreme Dinosaurs game, and then they could have put them together just like they did in the show and just like they did with Double Dragon and Battletoads. They had Battletoads and Double Dragon in one game. They could have done that. Street Sharks and Extreme Dinosaurs, and it could have been a beat 'em up game. It would have.
How pissed are you going to be in 2 years when all these games
I
start
know,
coming out?
right? And then here we are saying,
all our
yeah, I
ideas.
know. My bad. I didn't mean
Not
to
a
cut you off. I
dime.
just wanted to get that point across before I forgot.
This. We are giving.
We
like,
said
you
it
know,
here today. I want my fucking royalties.
Right?
But my bad. I didn't mean
from the
to.
universe, dude.
I didn't mean to cut you off. You were gonna say something.
What?
I just wanted to say it before I forgot. So, but go ahead.
No,
I didn't mean to cut
No,
you
you're
off.
good.
Yeah.
You're good. No, I was just saying Action Man. That was like one of the.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember Action Man?
I remember. Let me look it up. I do remember
Action
the
Man
name
was
though.
basically Barbie for boys. Like I know
Yes.
like now
Barbie for boys.
nothing's
Yes.
for boys for girls, but
Yeah.
I had an Action Man bungee jumper.
yeah, I
The
remember.
Action Man was a show, and he would go on like adventures. He was basically 007, and he
Yeah,
would go
okay.
on these adventures, but he was just like way more violent, not as suave. He was like
Okay.
GI Joe
Yes.
and 007
Yes,
put
yeah,
together.
I was just about to say
Like
that.
a
I was
rough
just about to say
Like-
that. 100%. This picture that I'm looking at right now too, it literally looks like exactly like what you just said.
Right. So I had like a bungee jumping one, which was weird because so he had a bungee jumping
I think that's the one right
mechanism
there.
that he could like you could stretch it like a rubber band, but if you put him in the water, his skin would go camouflage. So he'd go like camo.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
It was like these dolls were like
yeah.
these dolls were like really into it. Like I had one of those, and man, I loved Action Man too. So I'd watch up, Saturday and I'd get my little
Yeah.
Action Man. I'm watching and
Yeah.
I'm so excited. I remember
That's
the
so
theme.
cool, dude.
Like play it. No, add that in there. So I don't
Hell
sound
yeah.
really ridiculous. Add the Action Man theme in there for me.
I know,
All right.
man.
man. I was watching it.
Yeah,
We were
dude.
in action.
Oh,
You're I just want to run through a couple things real quick. You are a gamer as well. What games are you most into right now?
right now, so like I always play like what people hate the most. Not like because I'm trying to. Like it just happens.
Yeah.
It just happens
Like
that way.
I'll go on forums or I'll go like, oh, this game, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wait, everybody really hates this.
Let me see why they hate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's mostly like we try, like I said, my wife and I play, and we tried to like get on with our friends and like get like people involved. Like most of my friends got PlayStations because like, hey, come on, play with me. Like this game is like this. Like I'm really good at like selling it, even if it's not that good, because I want them to play.
Yeah.
So like recently, like we've been going back and forth between. So we like rotate through a night. Like once a week we'll get on, and there'll be some Fall Guys.
Okay.
Until I get pissed with Slime Climb, then I then it'll be Dead by Daylight, which we're super into right
Love
now
that
because they're just, that's one of those examples where I played it when it first came out. I was unimpressed. I came back 2 years later.
Nice.
And now there's been all these upgrades and updates and killers.
Yeah.
So it's like
I kind of
really
did the same
cool.
thing.
I
kind of did the same thing. Yeah. I played it when it first came out and I was digging it, and then I fell off from it, and then I did the same thing, and then I came back to it when they started adding like Freddy and all that stuff. And then I played it again for a little bit, and then I haven't played it for maybe about a year, I think, maybe now. It could be about a year, and but I do want to go back to it again. I do that with a lot of games. You know, I'll stop playing, I'll go back, and you know.
Right, I would suggest definitely now they implemented like crossplay with it.
Yeah,
so it's like,
I heard about that.
You get into games and it's really cool and it works well from what I've seen so far. And then super unpopular opinion, which like I know like do not give me too much hate in the comments, people, but Predator, man.
Oh, I haven't played it.
Dude, it was bad. It was bad when it first came out because like it was very glitchy. That was another one.
You have a really good way of selling the games that you say
it's
is
bad. It's fucking horrible. I actually hate it deep inside, but I'm playing it.
I see like Predator's unstoppable. So you like don't want to go up against the Predator. Like he's so powerful. So they did a lot of like balancing and stuff. And now months later, like we came back after 3 months of not playing it, and they introduced a new game mode. So initially the game is 4 survivors, and you like deck them out with primary weapon, secondary, some gear, health packs, all that stuff. And then the Predator goes in the jungle. He tries to find you. While you're in the game, you can like mud up to hide your like
sounds kind of interesting.
It is. It's definitely a cool concept, and it works when it's balanced.
Yeah.
If people like pick like this armored tank Predator, because there's like 15 Predators to choose from, then it's kind of like unstoppable. So when the Predator comes down, you can't even like damage him. But most players in the community, they hate that, so they don't do that. So it like ends up like being sort of balanced.
So is it like Dead by Daylight where somebody is the Predator, or is it a computer Predator?
Yep, somebody is the Predator.
Nice.
So there's a 5th person who's the Predator, and he's in 3rd person, and he's got thermal. He's got all his like, he's got the guns, he's got the spear, and like I told you, 15 different suits from like any movie that's ever existed. Even if it's like an off-brand toy, I think they made it into a suit or whatever. But like it's ridiculous. But I love it because like they let you use original characters. Like they had a DLC for like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Yeah, and the DLC like there's no story, there's no nothing. But it just says in the DLC, 20 years later, and Dutch is coming back, and he's like old Arnold, and they gave him like gray hair, and he's all scarred up, and on his shoulder he's wearing like a Predator mask.
Nice,
and like his knife is like a Predator like one of the it's cool. So we all like go in and we jump from the chopper, and it's like 4 Arnold. So everybody's Arnold Schwarzenegger jumping into the jungle, and we're going after the Predator.
That's
like me and my friends,
awesome,
and we're just like running through. But
get him now!
He did voiceover for it. You know what?
I did see that. Now that it just clicked for me right now, because I remember he did not do the voiceover work for Mortal Kombat. But he did do the voiceover work for Predator, and I remember reading comments of people going,
"Why didn't he do it?"
He did the voiceover work for the lesser game. I remember seeing people say comments about that. But he was a consultant for Mortal Kombat's voiceover. The guy that did the voiceover work had to be approved by Arnold himself. But he did not do the voiceover work, and I thought that was really weird. And apparently, I guess NetherRealm, developers of Mortal Kombat, I guess they reached out to Arnold and he declined or something. I don't know the exact story, so don't quote me on that.
He was probably like at that time, like don't even quote like nothing about politics. I know nothing, but wasn't he like the governor?
I'm not sure.
Maybe
I really don't.
Maybe during that time he wasn't doing that kind of stuff.
I don't
and
know.
Now
100%.
That he's not in office or anything. I don't know.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So like he'll say stuff like when he sees it and you spot him, you can like if you see the invisible Predator like a little bit, you can spot him, and then Arnold will yell out, "Look for the shimmer," and like your team will know like that it's there. So it's cool. Yeah, man, it's really fun if you have people to play with. I wouldn't go on like on my own, but like 4 of us get on and we go against a 5th friend, and he's the predator. So it's fun, like you're on the mics and somebody's the predator.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Everything's always more fun with friends. You know what I mean? Everything.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Well, if I didn't sell anybody on Predator, I'm gonna finish the Predator story on this one point.
I actually want to look at it.
Yeah, when you start losing, if you're not getting completely obliterated, you can blow yourself up, which causes all 4 fire team members to try to leave out of a certain radius. So even when you're like lose, you can still blow everyone to bits.
So somebody could essentially be the sacrificial lamb type of situation. Where it's like, okay, I'm at least do some damage. Here I go, boom, get away. You have this amount of time.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Predator
too,
now.
yeah.
That's the variety I'm into right now. When I'm not doing that, I'm cosplaying.
That's cool. No, I appreciate that, and I like that because there's a lot of games that people probably aren't going to mention right now. You know, it's like we had somebody else on and we asked them. You know what I mean? It would probably be a lot of the games that are in quote unquote right now. People are playing the same stuff. You know, so it's cool when you get like diversity, something different and variety.
Yeah.
We do got to start wrapping up, but before we go, I want to ask you a couple things real quick. What do you find, bringing it back to your cosplay? What do you find is the most difficult part about cosplaying?
The most difficult part, honestly, I think it comes down for me, and like everybody's different, but for me personally, it comes down to the time to learn the skills I want to learn. Gotcha. One of the reasons I moved away from like working with foam and meat wagon batsuit was like that's what it is now. I wasn't kidding. Like, it's meat wagon batsuit.
I love that one actually.
But is like I see a lot of talented people who can really work with foam and they can really do amazing things with it. One, I've had my fair share of foam problems. I hate it. And 2, I'm in Florida. You step out to a convention in summer in foam, it's gone. That made me look towards the 3D printer. So I've been getting really into 3D printing models and stuff. But yeah, the time to learn, I've been doing some sewing, trying to sew my own stuff. Like I said, I can do some loose foam work, definitely not as detailed as a lot of the talented people on Instagram that I follow and stuff. But the time constraint to like learn a new skill, because like I saw this meme once and it's never been like a truer meme. A cosplayer is someone who one day woke up and decided to be a model, a designer, a seamstress, a 3D printer, a 3D model designer, a photographer, and just list goes on. It's like, because that's all the things you have to do to like kind of incorporate this great thing. And that's why Instagram is so great, meeting so many people through different platforms and things like Unmasked Studios. A Superior Robin is a guy who makes my files. He made the Dark Side helmet for me. That was a custom job. I commissioned him to do that. You know, people who can sew, people who can do foam, people who can do all this other stuff, and just bringing it together to make like this ultimate like vision. But for me, like that's the hardest part. The easiest part is coming up with like Bane Venom mashup or Daredevil Batman mashup, like things I want to see that are kind of like out there. Like my newest cosplay that probably by the time this episode is on, like, is going to be on Instagram.
Nice, dude. Which kind of coincides with the next question that we had is what other characters would you love to cosplay as, or if you want to mention anything that you've got coming up? Yeah,
the list goes on and on. I know Unmasked Studios probably wants to kill me because it's like every week I'm like, hey, how about this one? Hey, how about this one? How about this one? And he's just like, yeah. And then it'll be like one will stick out of like 50 I send him, and then he'll make it. He's super collaborative. He's a cool guy. Will. He's runs it over there. Yeah. But got some in the works that I don't want to like. Nothing I want to commit to fully. I am Turbo Man. Is my big one.
Turbo Man.
Turbo Man.
I think I've seen. Maybe 1 or 2 other cosplayers that did a Turbo Man. But it's again, that's one of those that you could capitalize on because you don't see too much.
You don't see too many, dude. Yeah. That is so nostalgic, man.
Maybe if you guys stick around, you two, I'll give you a sneak peek before we go off a little bit.
Oh, yeah. After this camera, a little bit of a little special that no one else is gonna get.
You know, a little bit.
Yeah, man. So something, I guess, something else that I kind of wanted to ask you was and it's something that we thought of was just like being where you are today, right? Like all the strides that you've made through kind of like up and downs and everything that you've had to go through, like you said, learning new skills and having the patience to do so, right? And doing them right. Like you knew the foam work wasn't so much for you, but you know, you respect the talents of it, right? What's something that you would tell like your past self or like your younger self that you know now? Like with everything that you know now, what's
everything that you've learned up until today? What would you if you
what advice
you know
would you
what I mean?
give
What would you tell
yourself?
your younger self?
Probably like something I've actually learned most recently is and this comes to anybody who's a creator, anybody who's an artist who makes cosplay, music, movies, film, shows, books, writes, anybody like that. You nitpick your own work too much.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to realize now more than ever, I have screwed myself out of a lot of fun projects and cool ideas because I nitpick pieces or things I make, or I just talk myself out of making them because I think they're too difficult.
100%,
Not too difficult, but I mean, like, I'm going to hate this. I'm going to hate this. And like most recently, like, I'm also working on, this is a big one I'm really excited for. It's really close to being done. It's for a friend. I don't know if you guys were talking about, this is perfect actually for this episode, talking about 90s stuff. Power Rangers has a comic book at IDW, and they recently did a crossover with the Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah,
And in that crossover, Shredder gets the Green Ranger coin, and he morphs into a Green Ranger Shredder type thing.
Oh, shit.
So I actually had Superior Robin create the files for that, and I printed it, and it's like 80% done in my garage right now.
Oh,
that's
damn.
cool.
So,
A Shredder Green
yeah,
Ranger.
And that was one of those where I like paused for months because I'm like, I need to reprint the pieces. I need to redo the file. Like I was just nitpicking it. And then I just like, let me just put it together. Like, let me just start going through it. And it's funny that you guys asked that now, because that's what I would tell myself. It's like, just do it and don't nitpick.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it is to have fun.
Yes.
And obviously, like, fun is different for everybody. Some people just like can wear like anything they want, fun, or you nitpick it and it can still be fun, you know? So I got past that point. I'm really like pushing past the nitpicking side and trying to stick more to the fun, because it is a hobby to me. It is like, you know, I got other things going on in my life, 100 other things going on at any given time. And that part is like therapeutic to me. That's like when I'm in there and I'm sanding and I'm putting it together, that's the best part for me. And when it gets all put together and I see what was in my mind's eye, there's nothing better than that. Like that's what makes a hobby, is like, this is what I saw and it came out. So just like telling myself, take it easy and don't nitpick, you know?
Don't be as
I
hard
feel
on
you on
yourself,
that, dude.
right?
I'm really hard on myself with like everything that I do. Sometimes I take the fun out of it for myself and I step back and realize like, man, just relax, you know? Like,
and sometimes just taking a step away for a minute and it just like, I stopped, and this isn't a long time, but like stop working on stuff for 2 weeks. For me, it's daily. Like whether it's 20 minutes or 2 hours, like cosplay is a daily thing where I'm just like sprinkling it in, and it's like I said, therapeutic. But you know, just stepping away for 2 weeks and not gonna look at any orders I'm making. I also make like orders of like gauntlets, Batman vs Superman utility belts. There's like a grenade launcher prop, all on Etsy. You can go through my bio and see it. I make that stuff. I'm like, not gonna look at orders for a minute. I'm not gonna look at my cosplay. I'm not gonna look at my buddy's cosplay. I'm not gonna just like taking a step back and recentering, and then I come back like fires fueled.
One thing I really appreciate about your work is that you could tell you take your time with like details and stuff like that, which obviously comes with working with other people and knowing what you want and giving them your ideas, and like an Unmasked Studios making it happen, right? Like you said, you send 50 and one sticks. But we appreciate that, dude. And like I definitely do, and I'm looking forward to Turbo Man content.
Yeah, 100%, man. With that
Thank
being
you.
said, ladies and gentlemen, please go follow Imposter Cosplay. Does all kinds of amazing cosplay. Obviously, if you stayed through the episode, we showcased some things. We threw some things up on the screen. For the listeners, if you're not watching, please go. I mean, watch the episode, definitely, because you're going to see some things that you didn't get to see and visualize and all that good stuff if you were just listening. And if you don't go and do that, definitely go to Imposter Cosplay and check his stuff out and follow him and follow everybody that we mentioned today.
Project points.
Exactly.
Get those project points.
Exactly.
I'm up to like
Amazing, dude.
700, dude.
He's like,
I'm like 700.
I'm gonna cash them in.
Cash them in one
They
day,
don't
man.
even know. They're gonna get the bill and they're gonna be like, side project has to close.
We're gonna get like a long receipt. Oh fuck. Oh shit.
Home Alone 2 style.
Exactly.
Oh, damn.
With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting,
sharing,
for subscribing,
subscribing.
for sharing, for doing all of those things that you do over on YouTube.com/Side Project Podcast. When you go down, you hit that big red button that says subscribe, and it goes, Where's Batman? He's right here. He's with us. He's here. He's right here now.
Yeah,
Imposter
Cosplay.
Hey, gives you 100 project points. Thank you guys for listening on Apple, on Google, on Spotify, and all those things that you listen on when you rate and you review us and you do all those things. Also on YouTube, don't forget to hit that bell. It notifies you right when we post a new video.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, you guys, because we're looking at the analytics and we're getting views from a lot of people that aren't subscribed. So you, right there. What's that one? We want you to subscribe.
I just gotta say one more thing. This podcast is amazing.
I fucking love it.
Thank you,
That
man.
real one more
Thank
time.
you, man.
One more time.
And thank you for listening, dude, and watching and all the stuff that you do as well. And thank you for coming on, man. We've been talking about it for I think like a good month or two now. We've been talking about it. And I'm glad that we finally got it to happen, man. It's cool conversations, awesome conversations, and I hope everybody enjoyed listening to it and or watching it as much as we enjoyed
definitely gonna have
being
to
a
do
part
like
of it.
a part 2.
Oh yeah, dude.
Of this situation.
Yeah, we can do it just a
with
part
other
2 where we're
subjects,
not talking about your cosplay at all. Like we just have you on and talk about something else now that we finally got all that out of the way, you know?
Yeah, talk about some good stuff. Yeah, I'm in.
Man. Definitely,
100%.
dude. So Juice, let them know where they can find you, man.
When I'm not on Meat Wagon Chronicles and Only Toes accounts to links that don't exist, you can find me on Instagram at Captain_Juicebox.
And if you're looking for me, you can find me at IG Hates Chazzy. If you're looking for Imposter Cosplay, you can find him at Imposter Cosplay. If you're looking for us as a whole, the duo, the magnificent, you can find us at Side Project Podcast on Instagram. We're getting out of here, man. So Juice, hit him with some Batman pistols. I don't know exactly what that would be, so just go ahead and hit him with the pistols, man.
Like a batarang?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw my Altoids as a bat. I'm not actually gonna throw it because I don't want to hit the camera.
The Batarang, go.